Hi, everyone. My name is Ann Butler, and I am with Bella Crafts Publishing. My business partner, Lisa Rojas, is having some much needed beach time. So she's not here this week, so it's just me. And today I'm going to share the Amsterdam pearl paints. We're going to play with those. And we're also going to play with the metallics. For those of you that have been watching me for a while, you know how much I love foiling, glitter, anything shiny. These pearl paints are beautiful. So I'm just going to place a comment here, make sure everything is working. Since, there we go. So we're going to play with Amsterdam paints today. And we're also going to play with my ArtFoamies stamps, which I have the rails out and the hexagons. So, hi, Jeannie. Can't wait to see it. I'm glad. So these are what we're going to play with. These are so much fun. And I'll show you why in a minute. First, I'm going to let everybody know that the fall issue of Bella Crafts is out. If you have not gotten your copy yet, go to our website. I'll put a link in after the live, and you can sign up right there, and the fall issue will be sent right to your inbox. That's all you have to do. We don't sell your emails. We just share crafty content from us and some of our sponsors. So you will only be getting crafty stuff from us in your emails. So if you haven't signed up, do so because it's free. It's filled with over 20 craft projects, and they're all for fall, Halloween. So there's several 20-minute crafts in there for you to check out. And there's still time to create those before Halloween. So we want to make sure that you guys check that out. And okay, I'm just checking right here too. And so since Lisa's not here, I'm just going to jump right in and get started on, we're not really doing a project today. I am sharing how to use these ArtFoamies stamps. For those of you that haven't seen them, they're so cool. And, you know, they're nice, they're thick. You can just hold on to the entire thing. Probably an hour craft for me. This you can do so quickly. You just have to set up your stuff. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. But these are nice and thick. You don't need a block. You don't need anything. And they go straight down on your surface. So today I wanted to share how to use these, how to work with them. And I wanted to share, like I said, the pearl paints. I have the metallics out too. So we'll do the metallics if we have time. But I wanted to show them to you on both a black surface and a white surface, because you get a totally different look with the pearl paints. This is a project I did, I think last year, a Facebook Live. It's using one of Eileen Hull's. I think it's her pocket notebook die, and it came untied. But I made this little journal, and you can use gel pens with it because it's black paper. But look at how beautiful that pattern came out with these rails from ArtFoamies. It is just so much fun. I also created this in the same live, and it was using the pearl paints where I applied them on clay. And this is the same die. One is with clay and one is with mat board and paper. So you get two totally different looks. But today we're going to be playing with the ArtFoamies and the pearl paints, and I think I might crack open the metallic ones too. So I'm going to switch cameras. You guys can just bear with me for a minute. There we go. Hi, Sylvia. Glad to see you here. Okay, so these are what we're working with today, and I think KP is going to be joining us. She is the owner of ArtFoamies. So if you have any questions while I'm demoing, she might be able to answer them for you if she's here. So we will, okay, she just sent me a message. She's trying to find the live. I'm going to see if I can. I'm just going to answer her real quick on the Bella Facebook page. That way she'll be able to be here to answer any questions if you guys have them. Oh, there she is. Okay, so ArtFoamies, that is KP. She is the owner of ArtFoamies, and she will be able to field any questions if you guys have them while I'm demoing. So again, these are ArtFoamies, and today we're working with a variety of the rails. I think there's 2 different sets of these. And then we're working with a variety of the hexagons. Hey, Dorothy, you are here live. That's nice. So there's a bunch of the hexagons. They are so pretty. The detail of these is simply amazing. So when you see me stamp with these, you'll be so impressed. Again, these are about a 1/2 inch thick, and you can just hold them in your hand and stamp down. No need for any extra tools or anything. And with the hexagons, I think they come in a set of 6. A set of 6 different patterns in one package. The rails come in a set of 4. So I'm going to move these aside. Now, when you're working with these, it's good to have also, ArtFoamies has these stamp buddies. They are foam, and you can put your inks. I mean, you can use other things, but this is foam, so you can put your inks or your paints right on here and use that as a palette. It works really great. Thank you, Dorothy. And I want to show you, okay, so like today we're working with paints. If you're going to, if you fill this with paints and you're going to use it again within a week and you put it in a Ziploc bag, that will be fine. If you're going to wait 6 months, paint's going to dry out. As you can see on my large one here, right up here, the paint does dry out if you don't get back to it within a few weeks. But it's still good to use. I've used it several times since that time when I dried it. But if you're using inks, like this is in a Ziploc bag, and this Ziploc bag, as you can see right there, it even has a hole in it. But these are inks. These are pigment inks. And these will stay wet, I think, forever. Inks don't dry. It's rare. But so I saved these for another time. I'm going to use those same colors, or I can wash it off and do new colors on there. So I want to wipe my finger real quick. So what we're going to do is take our stamp buddy and our pearl paints. I'm going to use the pearl first. I'll save this one for the metallic. But what's really cool about these, the colors are on the back of the box. So you have like a pearl that's a white and a yellow, so silver and gold. Then you have one that's red, a blue, a violet, and a green. But when they come out on this palette, they all come out white. So it's a good thing to have this sitting here and put them in a certain order. If you're going to use all 6 colors, if you're not, just take the one that you're not going to use out, so that if you have to add more paint, you get it in the same order. So I'm not going to use, I'm just not going to use the silver. So I'm going to start up here at the top, and you just put it out onto your stamp buddy. And I'm going to space these out each just a little bit, because I'm going to use a old hotel card or old credit card, gift card, to blend those into the stamp buddy. I'm going to pull my camera just a little bit closer. There we go. And you just put these out on your stamp buddy. Like I said, I'm putting these back in the same order so that if I need to add more paint, if I was making something big and wasn't doing just a demo, I would be needing to add more paint. And this way, I would have them in the same order. Not that if you mixed them up, they wouldn't be beautiful, because after all, they're metallic, right? I mean, they are beautiful colors. Hi, Penny. Yes, Penny did put in hashtag Bella Crafts. So I want to have you guys hashtag Bella Crafts when you like, share, and comment on this video. The gift this week is from ArtFoamies, and it's a $40 gift certificate. So you're going to want to get in on that. Okay, so I'm going to come in and flatten these out. Just to spread them. And I might want a little bit more of this gold color right up here. And then maybe a little bit more of the red between the blue and the red. Now, what's cool about this is, because you're making a palette, these, and I'm going to put the excess down here just to keep that clean. These will stay wet, like I said, for a week or two, because they're paints. If you put them in a Ziploc bag, you can use a Ziploc bag and like a baby wipe in there to keep it moist. And that way you can keep using these. But if you're doing inks, they'll last forever. And then you can just wash this off when you're done, so it's ready for your next set. Now, first thing I'm going to do is to use some white paper. The black paper is what I'm excited to show you, but I'm going to use some white paper just so you can see what these colors look like on white. And then I just stamp my stamp into the paint and make sure it's covered. And I just come down. And you press. Now, if you're going to make a seamless pattern, you can go ahead and add more ink. Make sure you get it on the whole stamp. And place that right next to each other. Put your thumb down here so you can guide it so that they're exactly the same, if that's the look you're going for. If you're doing mixed media, you can just have them anywhere you want. And then you can lift this one up. And I'm going to lift this one up. Because it was a stripe, there wasn't the stripe right there. Now, this is on white. And you can see it all looks pearly. And when it dries, it's going to be kind of an iridescent of each of those colors. And, you know, that can be pretty for some things. But my goodness, if you want to see something gorgeous, use black cardstock. And ink that up. Make sure it's inked up good. And put that down. And I'm going to take another one and ink this up. And put that right next to it and guide it at the bottom. And then I'm just going to keep going. You don't have to keep them there. I'm just trying to create a full pattern. Plus, I want to show you how beautiful it is all at once. So each of these patterns are different. So you can just, if you have one set or two sets and you have the other ones down, you can just keep picking up. And you're not going to have the same pattern next to each other. And you, like I said, you don't have to do it this way because there's no seam on here. You can see exactly where you're going to go. Oh my goodness, isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to pull these up. Isn't that beautiful? Look at those colors. And look at that pattern. It's perfectly aligned. Now, if you want it exactly aligned like this, that is when you're going to, putting them next to each other keeps it all straight, all even, and you have a perfect, beautiful background pattern. But if you want it to where they're as close to each other as possible, like I did in the journal cover, you would come down with one pattern and lift it up. And then you would come down and, hope my head doesn't get in the way of the camera, and come down and line this up, being careful to get it even on the edge, like that. And then that way, that pattern is more continuous. I like it both ways. So you guys can let me know in the comments which way you like it. But isn't this absolutely beautiful? The fact that you can use paint with these ArtFoamies and you get these beautiful results. Now, when I'm all done, I'll take and I will wash these off and use a baby wipe and wipe them off. And they're fine. Like you can see, mine are very well loved and there is still color on them, and that's okay. But either way, you end up with a beautiful pattern. And these rails, they just work so cool together. Like in this book, you just create that beautiful pattern. And there's so much you can do with these. Now, when I was thinking about what to do with these today, I was thinking I wanted to try this on fabric because those of you that have been watching me for a while know that I make these little tiny journals that you can stick in your purse, and they're great to give as gifts. And these are done with fabric. This one was done with paper and fabric, but I wanted to try using these paints on a piece of black fabric with my ArtFoamies stamps, because I'd like to make some of those little journal covers, and I like doing it out of fabric more than paper. It does deepen as it dries, Dorothy. But here, now I'm going to bring in the white. And that is just a pearlescent look, which is beautiful in and of itself. But it just pops so much on the black. It just is stunning. So I have a piece of fabric here. And now I am not sure if the Amsterdam paints, I don't think that they're machine washable. But for the purpose of what I'm making this for is for one of those little journal covers that you're going to use and have in your purse. You're not going to be washing it. So I think it's okay. I think it's totally fine that you just use this without, even though it's not machine washable. There are products you can put in paint to make them machine washable. Isn't that pretty? It goes so nice on fabric too. And these stamp so well on fabric. So I'm just going to take another one. KP says if you mix GAC 900, you can wash it. So I'm not worried about that right now because I am just going to use it for a little journal. That's going to be thrown in my purse. It isn't going to be washed. But if it's something you were going to wash, you would want to do that. I'm going to use this one. I haven't used this one yet. Try and keep my fabric straight. And put that right there. But I love that these are so easy to use. And it works so nicely on fabric. Isn't that beautiful? So while you have your colors in here and each of these patterns are different, the same color is going across almost perfectly across horizontally. So it kind of just pulls everything together. Hi, Beatrice. So it's fine, you know, like if you wanted, it'll still look nice if you went opposite. So like on this one, I'll show you. I'll add the paint and I'm going to turn it so that the gold is down here at the bottom. But it'll still look beautiful because these colors are absolutely beautiful. And these stamps all go nicely together. See? So now here I have the gold on the bottom and then the blue and the red. It kind of meets there, but it's the opposite. So you can do either way and it's still beautiful. And because you're just using a little tiny bit of paint, you're not painting on this cloth or anything, it still has a soft feel to it. And this dries fairly quickly because you're only using a little bit on the stamps and placing it on here. So this still has a nice soft feel. So this would be beautiful to create one of these little journal covers. I'm going to have to do more, but if I do one more rail, it'll be enough for the front, and then I do a second row. So I'm going to use this. And then I'm going to come down on here. Is there somewhere showing how to make the fabric cover? Jeannie, I think I did it for a Facebook Live a while back. I'll have to find it and share that with you. But isn't that beautiful? So do a second row, and then that would be big enough for this cover. I would maybe do one more just because I like to fringe the edges. But yeah, that just still leaves a beautiful soft feel. So now I'm going to use a brand new Stamp Buddy that hasn't been used. And I'm going to do the metallic paints so you can see the difference. So with the metallic paints, you're able, obviously, to see the color. So you don't have to keep them right next to each other. And for this one, because I'm going to use the hexagons, I think I'm just going to put the paint in different areas and then spread them together. Like a little bit there of the copper. This one is the light gold. Oops. And I might be putting too much paint out. I am not sure. I'm going to use some of the silver because I think that will be pretty on black. Got a little bit on the rim there. I don't want that there. So I'm going to wipe that. One of the best things you can do for yourself is if you get paint on the rim is to wipe it off right away. That way your covers will come on and off easily. If you leave the paint and it dries, it makes it really hard to get that cover off. And here's the darker gold. And then I'm going to use some of the, let's see what color it is. I can't see it with my eyes, but it's like a charcoal. There we go. Then I'm going to use my room key. And I think I'm going to start by spreading this way. And then I'm going to spread this one out this way a little bit. And come across. That way I'm going to have the colors everywhere. I think I want just a little bit more of this. When you're not doing it in a line, they blend, which is what I wanted because these are hexagons and it's gonna go all over. But I want some more of the silver too. And spread that. There. And wipe my card off. Okay, so first we'll go on the white again. And I'm going to use the Flourish and ink that up. So you want to make sure you have ink everywhere. And when you've already had paint on here, sometimes it's hard, but you'd be able to tell in person better than you can on the camera. Okay, so let me see. That is really pretty. I want to see if you can see that shine. See? There you go. So the shine and the shimmer of the metallic is stunning on white, but on black, of course, it's going to be more beautiful, right? And I might need to put just a little bit more paint on here. I'm going to start right here in the center. Oh, see, the black just makes it pop. Isn't that beautiful? That is so pretty. So these are also made so you can put them, you know, like if this is down, you can put them all right next to each other. But I'm just going to wing it. Try to line them up because I wanted to show you that metallic right away. So these all fit together and you can see where the straight edge is, and you just lay it down, and I'll lay it like on one side and then bring it down. It's so pretty. And see, with that, you can get that seamless pattern. And it's good to play. It's good to just get your stuff out and play once in a while. I don't think many of us do that often enough to where we just take the time to play with the products we have. And it's a good thing to do because then you can really enjoy and find out all the possibilities of what you can do. Okay, so for like right here, I'm going to stick this down in the corner, that point, and I'm going to try and line that up with those two straight edges. Dorothy, you love when I wing it? Yes, this is what I do a lot. But I love to just experiment and share with you guys possibilities. Isn't that pretty? I mean, all of those colors, they come together in a set. So, you know, they all blend together really well. And by me just kind of mixing them up all over on here, you get a beautiful color scheme going on right there. Whereas if I would have did lines, it'd still be pretty. Like, let me show you. Like I have the pearl one still and it's lines. So let me just take and put that down. Play is essential to learn. Yes, it is. And like I said, we don't do it enough. We get so busy or we're determined to finish a project. But if we would just play once in a while, we'd learn so much. So here you can see it's more going across. I kind of think I like this way better, where it's just random and all over. I mean, I love this too, but I think the randomness of this makes it really fun. So like when you're playing, You can save all of these things and use, like if you're using cardstock, you can use them for card fronts, you can use them for journals, you can use it for a junk journal. There's so much you can do that you don't have to have a purpose for everything, but you can save it and use it for something later. So I turned this so that I could show you guys again. I'm coming down here to the point and then lining up those two lines and then pressing. Megan, when I play with my supplies, my creativity really shines. Yes. And that's what, you know, we have our group, Do You Love to Craft? I would love to see you guys sharing just your playtime with us, because that's fun too. Okay, this one I got off just a titch. I'm still okay with it. Because no matter what you're doing, you can, like if this was a journal cover, you could come in with metallic or gel pens and just do stitching lines, and that would cover up that little tiny piece where it went over or didn't touch. So you can always fix. Don't always think you have to do everything perfect. Think more in terms of playing and enjoying the process, because you're going to learn so much by doing that. Yes, KP has an ArtFoamies Fun Friday Facebook Live. And I think, is it 4 p.m. Central Time, KP? But we'll share that on our Bella page. KP, send me the info for this Friday and I'll share it so people can, 4 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, so you guys watch that too, because she experiments with all sorts of things and she has guests sometimes and she does mixed media. So it's fun. Okay, my paint is starting to dry up, so I missed that little tiny piece there. With these you could almost come right back down. I'm not sure if I'm going to get lined up perfectly. There. Because there's no lip on these, you're able to get it almost exactly where you want it and fix that boo-boo. Hi, Linda. So this is just very therapeutic to get all your stuff out and sit and play. You know, it's just, and what's fun is all of these patterns go nicely together. I'm trying to find one that I didn't use yet. Here, haven't used this one yet. But these all go nicely together. And I love the randomness of putting the paints all out like this. And remember, I have that charcoal color on here. I think that is, I don't know where it is. Okay, on this stamp, it's down here at the bottom. We'll see. Because on the black, I think it's just going to make it shine. I don't think you're going to see it a lot. The tiny miss of the pattern makes it look vintage. Yes, thank you, Dorothy. You always make me feel good. And you don't have to be pressing as hard and as long as I am. I'm just, when you're doing a live, you want to make sure it comes off okay. But isn't that just stunning? Those colors are beautiful. And I hope you'll come on soon and we'll have some new ArtFoamies too. Yes, we are working with on some new designs for ArtFoamies. And I think somebody asked a question about the paints. Royal Talons, where do you purchase them? I believe, I'll put a link in here, Dorothy, but I believe some of them are on Amazon, but I'll put a link in for you. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, And it's just so much fun to take the time to play. Now I'm going to turn this way and do the one up here, which I can see I got this one a little high too, but we're just going to roll with it and see what it turns out like. And what's really cool, when you do your colors in a random pattern like that on this palette, you can still move it around just a little bit and those colors are going to blend. Okay, since I'm doing that, I'm going to turn it this way so I can see. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see very well, but on here, again, I'm going against that flat edge. Like when there were only 2 hexagons, I went in the corner. But since I had the flat edge here, I just thought I'd use that flat edge. And then it kind of made up for the little crookedness there. But isn't that beautiful? Now, this could be cut out totally for a card front. So I'm gonna take this and just show you guys what it would look like in a card front. I'm not going to start in the center. I'm going to add just a little bit more paint because I don't want it to come off sticky and not have enough paint. So I'm putting them kind of where they were. I don't think it's going to matter much because they're all kind of blended together. And then that way I'll show you, like if you were playing and you were just doing this on cardstock, that you could still take this and then die cut it and use it for a card front. But because I already have this cut, I'll show you what it'll look like. And for those of you that watch us all the time, you know when I get my die cutting machine out, and I mean, I have it set up over here in my studio all the time, but I don't use it in the area it's at. So I move it over here and I will cut out, I think this is 2 layers. I will cut out like 25 or 30 of these at once, just because I use these so much. This one just feels like it's 2 layers. Let me grab a different one. There we go. But I'll cut a bunch of them out so that when I have that particular die out, I am just getting the most out of my time instead of getting it out every time I need one. There we go. But for this one, I'm not going to start in the center. We're just going to start, I'm going to start down here. So because I'm not going to start in the center, I'm just going to ink up part of this, because I'm just going to use half of it. And I'm going to come down here like that. That's, I think, where the black part is. And then I'm going to come up here, line that up. Dorothy Blick does carry Royal Talons. I'm not sure if they are in the or in Canada though, so you'd have to check. And like here, I'm just going to take a little corner and put that in the corner and put that down. And then I'm going to take just a little corner here and put that down. I mean, so you can just fill the entire thing in. We haven't used this one yet. This is a good way for you to see all the patterns too. Now this one I'm going to stick down in that corner. And press. Isn't that pretty? So this will be such a beautiful background for a card. You could do it on the card front itself. You could do a black card and do the whole card front with this, and then put a white insert on the inside. Isn't that beautiful? Because I still have paint on here, I'm going to go ahead and just use the rest of the paint here, even though it's the same pattern, which is still okay. And then there you go. This one I'm going to ink up a little bit more. Gotta go all the way up there. The fleur de lis. Thank you, Dorothy. It is pretty, isn't it? There. Now, isn't that a fun card front? I mean, you can do that. Here's a white base. I'm not sure that I'd put it on a white base. I think I would grab a colored base. Like, well, I don't think I have anything real close here, but let me see. Let me see color-wise. Like, that's a lot of shine, but you could use a pearlescent paper for the card base. Trying to look and see what I have just right here close that is something I didn't expect to do this. Let me just see if I can grab some of my pearlescent paper. This isn't what I have in mind, but if you went with a solid gold for the back, that'd be pretty. So just play and have fun. And before I go, I want to try this on this piece of black fabric too, since I have all this paint here. So pretty. So many possibilities, guys. So I'm going to switch my camera over. And there. I hope you guys liked it. I mean, sometimes it's nice to just get all your supplies out and play. And like I said, this is the pearlescent, and that's a beautiful journal cover. This is the metallics. Oops. And they are so beautiful. I lost my card front. There it is. This is the metallics. So the difference between the metallics and the pearlescent, they're both beautiful. I mean, honestly, they're both So beautiful. But sit and play, and then you'll have a bunch of pieces of cardstock filled with designs, and then die cut them for card fronts. You know, just play and have fun. Thank you, Beatrice. I will go through and look at your comments and reply. Megan, I'm not sure the last print stamp that I did. I don't know. Thinking it might be this one. But I'm going to have to look for the paints in your stamps with ArtFoamies. Yes, thank you. The Fleur de Lis. Oh yeah, that one is pretty too. Yeah, that's the biggest one there. And doing it in all those colors, it just makes it all tie together, and you create beautiful backgrounds that way. And, you know, if you're into fabric, you can do it on fabric, quilt it, and make all sorts of things. So make sure you like, share, and comment with the hashtag Bella Crafts. And there's a $40 gift certificate we'll be giving away next week. And I did not get from Lisa the winner from last week. So we will announce 2 winners next week. And we will be back. Lisa's going to take a couple more days on vacation. So I'm not sure if she's doing a live next week, but for sure I will be back at 2 o'clock Central Time. We'll let you know if Lisa is back in time, but I told her to just enjoy her time, and if she's back, we'll let you know. So we will see you next time, but until then, take some time to craft because it's good for your soul. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate every single one of you that were here. And thanks, KP, for being in here and putting comments in and sharing tips. So thanks, everyone.